What's up, everybody? I'm Chris here again with the Discipling Culture of New City Church. Just want to talk to you about probably one of the most important aspects of discipleship. It's my heart to let you know that in my groups, like I'm on group number 7 right now, and I've learned that what I'm fixing to teach you now is what should drive everything else. All right? And so we've talked about in the up, in, and out how everything rises and falls, not on leadership, but on abiding, like on abiding. Now, the challenge with this is like in my group that I'm running right now is that everybody raised their hand when we talked about abiding, and they're like, hey, we want this, but we don't know how to do it, and we don't really know like what's the repercussions if we don't. And so I'm looking around the room, there's like 8 people in there, and it becomes clear to me that it's like I can't assume that people understand this concept, much less do it. And so out of all the things that we're teaching, let this one be one of the most important for you, all right? And here's why, all right? We're teaching you how to abide, like the whole working out of the power of abiding. And so if we start in John 15, here's what it says. Jesus is talking and he says, I am the true vine and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you will do nothing. All right? And so Jesus' words are here, and he goes, if you sit with me, like if you remain in me, if you let my words pour into you, he goes, inevitably you will produce fruit. All right? And if you choose not to, like if you choose to not sit with the Lord, like not to be with him, like let his words penetrate your heart, he says that you will do nothing. Like you will do nothing. And so serve in Kids City all you want, but if you do that apart from sitting with Jesus, nothing happens. Serve at the front door all you want, but if you do that apart from sitting with Jesus, nothing happens. Make all the coffee that you want on Sunday morning, but if you do that apart from Jesus, you'll do nothing. Work as hard as you can at your job. And if you choose not to let his words penetrate your heart, like if you don't have any kind of rhythm of abiding, then you cannot expect anything to change where you work. Like you are not a person who can bring change to where you go because the power is not in you. But he says, when the power is in you, you will bear fruit. Meaning that Jesus himself has said that it's a true statement that when you sit with him, that wherever you go, you're going to bear fruit. Like it's just part of the plan. And so this concept becomes so important to you, whether you're leading a discipling group, whether you're making coffee, whether you're preaching from the stage, whether you're sitting at a computer, like it becomes your all in all. The way Mike Breen draws this out is he draws this out in the form of a semicircle, and he has like a pendulum coming down in the center. And what happens is, he's like, as you pull your pendulum back into the area of resting and abiding with Christ, the longer that pendulum is pulled there, the more momentum it has to produce much fruit as you let it go. And so it comes out of this idea, like we've had some pushback from this, so I just want to kind of lean into you. Like you can read Genesis and you can see that, man, that the Lord worked 6 days and he rested on the 7th. Like we get that. And so in our minds, like we work 6 days and on Sunday we rest. But if you think about that clearly, that's what God did. The other side of that is, what did man do? So man gets created on the 6th day. And the very first day of his life, he's seeing everything. Like he sees all the creation that the Lord has made. He's like, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do? And the Lord looks at him and says, tomorrow we rest. Like you and I, we sit together. And so Adam's first full day on this planet, he sat down with the Lord all day and enjoyed his company and enjoyed his favor and enjoyed his grace and enjoyed his power and enjoyed his creation and enjoyed all of that. And from that day, from that seventh day of the Lord and the first day of Adam, like he began to work and do all of his stuff. Because it makes no sense to work your rear end off and be exhausted just so you get to the seventh day where you can rest. Like that's not living a fruitful life. Like living a fruitful life is letting Jesus fill you up, and then as you travel through your day, to let him roll out of you. Now here comes the challenge to this. Like you teach into the semicircle is a great concept, but if you don't teach them how, you're going to miss it. Like you're totally going to miss it. And so what I want to encourage you to do is to look at the concepts in this website of doing up, like the precept upon precept, all right? Like just the sitting still, like unpacking the word together, like praying for one another, like confessing sin to one another, like to doing the things that get people into a rhythm of hearing the voice of the Lord will make you make disciples who can make disciples, all right? And so I'm just going to kind of pause there. I don't want this video to go too long, but I would encourage you, like if you're having some problems with this or just need some more ideas on how to work the up with your people, or maybe even to work the up with yourself, to track down your spiritual parent and to have some conversations with them. Let me tell you, all the power, all of discipleship, all of the kingdom rises and falls on this principle. With him, you will bear fruit. Apart from him, expect to do nothing. Otherwise, he becomes a liar. And he's proven over and over that he's not, okay? And so, man, I'm Chris. Like, stay calm. Like, this is his plan. It's not yours. And we love you. Keep calm and disciple on.